Alright, hey guys. Today we are doing a Q&A video because, usually it's you guys request one, but this time I kind of requested for you guys to send questions in because, yeah, I needed a distraction. So thank you for helping me out there and sending questions. And yeah, so I'm gonna answer them, and Ask Him is gonna help me because he's in my lap and being a cutie. So anyway, the first question is, how do I find the confidence to wear what I want to wear? And the answer is really just that I'm comfortable with myself. And like fashion is all about like expressing yourself, like expressing like who you are and like how you feel like within. So basically it all comes down to feeling good about who you are like as a person and just liking yourself, and then you can translate that like through clothes and through makeup and all that. And I've actually been looking a little bit, as you can see, like how I'm dressed today, like, a little bit more plain, I guess, lately, just because, that's how I've been feeling inside. So I know that I do like a lot of outlandish, like, outfits and makeup and all that, but I don't know. Lately, I've just been feeling more like this, so that's how I dress. And if that's how you feel all the time, then that's okay, because it only matters, like, you're going to be beautiful, like, if you look like yourself. So if you feel more plain all the time, then that could be just as bold as being, a little bit crazy with your outfits, because you're like in a way, you're like making yourself vulnerable. Like when you're like in a position like I am, where it's like 90% of the time you look like crazy and insane, then it's actually like the most bold thing that you can be is just, you know, plain, I guess. So yeah. The next question is, what would you tell 13-year-old you? Um, this is kind of embarrassing, but I would be like, hey, you're about to discover who the Beatles are and go really crazy over them, and it's going to change your whole freaking world. So that's like kind of the like, cheesy part. The more like serious thing would be when I was 13, and this is true with everyone I know, but it's like when I was 13, I was nothing like I am now. Like, and I feel like 13-year-old me would have been terrified of the person that they were going to become, like, in later years. And the reason I say that is because when I was 13, I was very conservative, because that's just what I grew up around. So I don't know how to describe it really, but it's like, basically, if I knew when I was 13 that I was going to turn into this, like, queer, agender, like, vegan person who freaking voted for Bernie Sanders, like, I would have been just terrified, and I probably would have hated that person. And now I'm sitting in a place where I look back at 13-year-old me and I'm like, oh, gross, thank God that changed. So, yeah, I guess I would just tell 13-year-old me, like, don't be afraid of change, like, because you will change for the better. Like, even if it's not your idea of what good things are, like one day it will be, and you're going to be proud that that's what you became instead of staying the same. So I guess it'd be something like that. The next question is my opinion on video games. Do I play them a lot? What's my favorite if I do? And do I consider myself good at them? And then if I don't play them, why not? And so, when I was younger, I used to play video games like all the time. Like, that was all I did. I would get home from school and just play video games until it's time to go to bed. And I did that like on the weekends and all that. And now I hardly play them ever. And the reason I don't now is, well, it's mainly probably because, like, I still have, like, really old gaming systems, like a PS2, which they don't even make games for anymore. And then the games that you can find when you can find them, because I don't think that even, like, GameStop and stuff really carries them anymore. They're more for children, so nothing against kids games, but you know, when you're 21, the only really like classic kids game I guess that you really want to play would be stuff like Mario and Zelda and like the classics, you know? Which you can't do that on a PS2 because you know, that's Nintendo games. But anywho's, the ones that I did play, like, I mean, I played, like, the crap out of this one was Ratchet and Clank. Like, I had, like, every single Ratchet and Clank, like, when it would come out, like, that was my thing, which is funny, because now, like, they just made, like, that Ratchet and Clank movie, and, just brings me back, because I thought that was the greatest game ever. And I'm not even lying, like, sometimes I'll still turn on my PS2 and play that game, but, like, only that game, because it was, like, the only one that was worthy. I mean, not back then, but now it feels that way. So I guess my opinion on them is really just, you know, if you like playing it, that's cool, you know, play it, man. And, if you don't, that's okay too. You probably have other interests. Like, I feel a lot of the reason that I don't play video games like obsessively anymore is a lot to do with me like having taken like such an interest in music and stuff, because that's like my hobby now, is that I just like to listen to music and find new music and that kind of stuff, you know? So anyways, after this question pulls up, I'm reading from my tablet. Best story I have about a stranger I ran into once. The only one I can really think of, and this happened a few weeks ago, actually, is I was getting gas at Kroger's. And it's like, I haven't talked about this because it's like when you do something nice for people, like, I don't necessarily think that you shouldn't talk about it, but it's also not something that you should, like, just, like, go and brag about, you know? But anyway, this happened a few weeks ago, and I was getting gas at Kroger, and this homeless woman, and she was probably, like, in her mid-50s, early 60s, but she came up to me and she asked for bus money because she needed bus money to get to her sister-in-law's house. And I never carry cash on me. Like, it's a terrible habit, but it's just, I'm one of those people that it's like, I'm just constantly paying with my debit card just because it's easier. So, I didn't have any on me. And so I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I have no cash. Which I always feel like such a jerk, like, saying to homeless people, because it's like, you know that people lie about it, so they're probably like, sure you don't, but, like, that's, like, the truth is, like, I just never have cash on me. And anyways, so one thing led to another, and I wound up, like, giving her a ride, to her sister-in-law's house, because I was on that way to that side of town anyway. And So on the way, like, I stopped and got her some lunch and all that stuff. And then, you know, kept taking her to her sister-in-law's house. And it was just a really good experience. She was a very nice lady. Her name was Anna Marie. And she was, I don't know, she was just a very nice lady. Like, it put a lot of things, like, into perspective, and I feel like that's why I feel the way I do about it. Because it taught me a lot of things, like, about myself and about, like, stereotypes of homeless people. And it was, you know, I don't really know how to describe it, but sorry, like, choking on my laugh. Yeah. So, I guess I'll end the video with that since I'm choking to death. So, yeah, thanks for sending in your questions and all that. And I will see you guys later. Bye.